welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. And this is Psalmic Saturday here at Ariel's Corner. Happy April Fool's Day. We already played our little April Fool's joke on the tarot stream, so I won't be doing more of that today. So you can trust me. I promise all will be well. Let's see, moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Heather and the lovely Dre, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Honeypaw. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you to everybody for joining us for Psalmic Saturday here at Ariel's Corner. We are here every Saturday, but just a little heads up, I am going to be gone for a few Saturdays later on, and I'll get all of those dates up and make sure everybody knows I'm going to be gone on vacation. So I'm going to be missing 3 Psalmic Saturdays, and I think I leave in about 3 weeks. So, but I'll make sure that everybody knows so that you're not signing on for something that doesn't exist. And let's see, we stream here, like I said, every Saturday, but we stream here Wednesday through Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Pacific time for some sort of witchy stream. So all the magic streams are Wednesday through Sunday, and then we have a tarot class on Tuesday at 9:45 a.m. Sorry about the different time there, but because of my work schedule, Tuesday has to be earlier. So magic streams Wednesday through Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Pacific, and Tuesday class on Tuesday at 9:45 a.m. Pacific. I hope you join us each and every day. We do have a tarot channel, and you can find that channel, that YouTube channel. It's called Ariel Tarot, and it's on you can find it on the channels tab of my main YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, you don't have to worry about different channels. It's all the same on Twitch. We have chat threads open on each of these streams right now. And so avail yourself to those, chat to your heart's content. And if you have any questions for me personally, you can put them right in that chat thread and I will get to them before the end of the stream. We do have a premiere today at 11 a.m. Pacific on YouTube. So we will have to get off right on time, but today's psalm is rather brief, so I don't think we'll have any trouble if there are questions. Just make sure you get those questions in before I close the stream. A lot of times we get the questions after the outro music has started, and by that time it's too late. We have a shop, and that's at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. And we list a bunch of different merchandise items there, including tarot decks and witchy tools, witches' rosaries, and of course, psalm books. We make a small commission off of each and every sale because those are all affiliate links. We do appreciate your support. You can support our channel also by giving a donation if you feel like it, and you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. If you're watching live, you could use a super sticker or super chat if you feel like giving a donation, and if you're watching on a restream, you could do that by using a super thanks. Our website is at ariels-corner.com. That's Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. And you can find the entire book of Psalms on that website. And it's a witch's psalter, meaning that there are some magical uses there, as well as the full text of each psalm, plus a couple of different angels that might be associated with that psalm. So it's a fun and valuable resource. So I hope that you enjoyed that as well. I think I've said all my commercials. Okay, good. We can get going with our psalm spell today. Today we are working Psalm 70. Psalm 70 frequently in magic is used to get a good night's sleep, so for insomnia. It's also used to repel any evil desires of others. And today we are going to use Psalm 70 to reverse oppression. Reverse oppression. So if you're feeling oppressed from outside, this will reverse that. Excuse me, I had to cough. This will reverse that. But sometimes the oppression comes from within, and you can reverse that as well. So there's no reason to go about your life feeling oppressed. We have Psalm 70. The way we work psalm magic is quite effective and very simple to do. We take our psalm in question and we read it out loud all the way through once as an incantation. And then after that, we go back through and we consider each verse in turn. And we dig for and search for hidden occult meanings that lie deep within the psalm. And we do our best to apply those meanings to whatever the purpose at hand is. And it's through doing all of that, digging, searching, and applying, that in a very real and visceral sense, we take the magical seeds that we find within the psalm and plant them into the fertile grounds of our mind, where they in turn take root and they grow. They blossom forth, and then they bear fruit after their kind. And that's exactly what we are going to do together right now, you and I, with Psalm number 70. Make haste, O God, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Lord. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Let them be turned back for a reward of their shame that say, Aha, aha. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, Let God be magnified. But I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O God. Thou art my help and my deliverer. O Lord, make no tarrying. Okay, we are having a little issue here. I can't seem to get myself together here today. All right, let's get through this. That's a nice brief psalm, but boy, it's very powerful. Interestingly enough, Psalm 70 is identical to part of Psalm 40, and pretty much the scholars agree with me that Psalm 70 is probably closer to the original psalm, and then Psalm 40 was kind of expanded and edited. And there's a lot, when you start comparing the different psalms, you can start seeing the editing process that went through that eventually became the book of Psalms. But this is probably hearkening back to a more ancient version of that psalm. We don't have access to the old versions of these psalms, so we just have to do our best and use the book of Psalms as it is in existence now. Okay, so it's starting out calling on God, which we know in the King James Version, if it calls on God, it's calling on Elohim rather than Yehovah or the Tetragrammaton. So it says, make haste, O God, to deliver me. And it's funny because we're telling God, hurry up. Make sure that you don't waste any time here, God, as if God is late. And that's a cue and a clue to part of our problem that we're experiencing, that we think that somehow God doesn't know what God's doing. Infinite intelligence doesn't know what they're doing, and that the reason why we're experiencing problems is because God's fallen asleep or lost our file or somehow forgotten that we're here, and it's just taking too long. And if we could just hurry God up, everything would be fine. So it's important when we see things like make haste, O God, that we realize that part of the problem is us thinking that God needs to hurry up, when in reality, the problem lies deep within us. It says, make haste to help me, O Lord. Now, what we have to realize is that when we see that in the Psalms, it's a reminder that the solution has already been given us. When there's a problem, the solution is created immediately. So God doesn't need to hurry at all. It's us that need to relax. We need to allow ourselves to realize the solution to whatever the problem is that we're bringing to the psalm. In this case, oppression and feeling oppressed. It says, let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Now, what can seek after our soul? Well, in this case, we're talking about that which oppresses us. But all oppression originates in the mind. And we're not saying that if you're feeling oppressed that you're not really experiencing that it's all in your mind. But we are saying that things that are happening in your life are reflections of something that's happening in the world of cause. And so the fastest, most expedient and efficient way to deal with any problem, including this one, is to find where its seeds are within our own mind. Because when we handle that, then the handling of the effects of them in the physical objective world is just a done deal. So let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. We want those thought forms removed from us. And when they are ashamed and confounded, for one thing, we want the confusion of the ego mind, which is maybe in being represented in glorious living color by people in your lives, right? But again, those are just representatives of our own ego mind. So if we're not saying that we're not handling it on the physical, we are handling it on the physical, but going through the mental. That which is confounding must be confounded. It's a reversal spell. It's a hex of reversal. So that which is trying to cause us confusion is now being confused. And it's saying, let them be ashamed. Now, when something is ashamed in the Psalms, it's putting a scarlet letter on it. And the reason why we do that is so that when this comes up again in the future, we will remember it and we won't go down those roads anymore. Because there's always some point of entry in our own mind where we are participants in anything, even though it doesn't seem like it, even though we may, and we're not blaming the victim. We're not saying that you're not being victimized, but we're saying that if we can safeguard that in our own mind, we can protect ourselves from being victimized in the future. And so now when we see signs of this coming up, since it's ashamed, we're going to be reminded in the future not to go down certain roads and not to entertain certain thoughts. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Now that's a righteous desire of the heart. Something that desires your hurt needs to be removed, needs to be reversed. You have every right to that. But then what we have to remind ourselves is we in turn cannot desire harm for others. And that includes little things like schadenfreude. Like, oh, yay, they got their just desserts, woohoo. Then we're participating in it in the same way that we're asking for it to be removed from us. So anytime we do any kind of curse or reversal, especially when we're using Psalms, it is a reminder to us that we have to toe the line ourselves. So no secret desire that people fail, no secret desire that people receive harm, even though we think they deserve it. That's not up to us. That's not our job to decide who deserves pain and who deserves punishment. That's up to infinite intelligence to sort all that out for us. But we do have the right to claim that all that is desiring our hurt be removed from us, be turned back on us. We do have the right to a reversal of this, and this is a reversing curse. And remember that when you curse something through the Psalms, if it indeed deserves to be cursed, it will be handled. If it doesn't deserve to be cursed, we are protected. We are protected because there's safeguards, there's stopgaps in psalmic curses. So you can curse to your heart's content when you're using this psalm, knowing that if you're off the mark, they're safe and you're safe. But if you're not off the mark, then they're going to know what it is. They're going to know that they messed with the wrong person. Right? So, but mostly what we have to do is learn to keep our own side of the street clean here. So when it says, let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt, let them be turned backward for a reward of their shame that say, aha, aha. right? So when somebody says, aha, aha, like they've got you, like they know you, like you deserve something, like they have a right to harm you, right? If you do that yourself, then you're going to know too. So you got to be careful when you're doing any kind of cursing that you do not participate in the same kind of activity that you're asking to be delivered from. And a lot of times we say, oh no, my hands are clean. I'm perfect. I'm just so innocent. And I was just sitting here minding my own business and they came and hurt me. And I never do that. And then they get their just desserts and you say, woohoo, yay. They deserve that. Be careful of that. Be careful of that. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let God be magnified. Ooh, what an important verse. So all of those thought forms within you, all of those ideas within you that are seeking infinite intelligence and not seeking vengeance, not seeking whatever other things that we come up with besides infinite intelligence, all of those ideas that seek infinite intelligence and are glad in it are going to be magnified along with God. It's saying, let God be magnified. Well, how can you magnify that which is eternal? What's being magnified in you is your own glory, is your own happiness, is your own joy, is your own satisfaction, is your own success, is your own safety. Now that's reward enough. You don't need to watch people suffer. You don't need to be glad that other people are getting what they deserve. That shouldn't be necessary. Well, I don't want to should on you, but that's not a reason for celebration. The reason for celebration is that now you are turning all of your thoughts to infinite intelligence and allowing your own glory to be magnified. Because that's what happens, is what we focus our mind on is what expands in our reality. So we want to focus on the name of God. And we always focus on those qualities of God instead of the problem. And that's our magic formula: infinite life, infinite soul, infinite spirit, infinite intelligence, infinite truth, infinite love, infinite law, infinite presence. We always are thinking of those things, not vengeance, not excitement that somebody's getting what's coming to them. Leaving all of that in the hands of infinite intelligence to sort out, knowing that we are free, we are safe, we are protected, and all is well with us. We are magnifying all of the qualities of God within ourselves when it says, let all those that seek to rejoice and be glad in thee, and let such as love thy salvation say continually, let God be magnified. How do you love infinite intelligence's salvation? Well, what is salvation? It's solving your problem. And remember, your problem was already solved. So the way that you find that salvation is by loving it. Loving the fact that the solution is there and it's for you. And you're receiving it. The reason why sometimes it feels like we don't have a salvation, or we don't have the solution to problems, is because we're trying to figure them out. We're trying to figure it out ourselves. And then we go to infinite intelligence as our last resort. In this psalm, we're saying, no, we're going to start with infinite intelligence. And then we don't have anything to worry about except for keeping our mind stayed on God. Now, this is a wonderful way to close this psalm. But I am poor and needy. Now, it's not self-deprecation that this is talking about. I'm just me. I'm poor. I'm needy. It's not that. It's of my own self, as who I think I am, as a little ego, as a little personality. I have no power by myself. But once I recognize who I am as a soul, I am an extension of infinite intelligence itself. And therefore, I'm able to be lifted and filled up with all the powers that come with being a child of the infinite. But if I'm considering myself as a separate little personality, that's having a particular storyline, what I need to do is empty my mind Like in Zen, they say, make it an empty rice bowl. Or Jesus said, to become like a little child. I need to pretend like I don't, well, not pretend, but I need to come to the realization that I don't know anything. I don't know anything, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing for my mind to be filled up with the truth of who I am, with the truth of my real power, with the truth of my real function here. So poor and needy is what I am as an ego, but as I recognize that that's not who I really am, and I let myself be instructed by infinite intelligence, I realize that I am a force to be reckoned with. It says, make haste unto me, O God. Once again, hurry up, God, reminding ourselves whenever we see that in the Psalms that God's never late. God doesn't need to hurry. The problem was already solved. What we need to do is allow ourselves to be filled up with the solution. Thou art my help and my deliverer. So finally, we're coming to the truth here. Finally, we are saying, oh, that's right. You're my help. You're the one that delivers me. How long does it take to deliver something with infinite intelligence? It doesn't take time. It's instantaneous. It takes but an instant. So that the problem that you're bringing to this psalm is solved in an instant, in a flash. So there is no need for us to hurry infinite intelligence. O Lord, make no tarrying. Don't be late. Don't be late. And what we have to recognize is whatever we're saying to infinite intelligence that doesn't seem like infinite intelligence, that's called a projection. And so if we're projecting onto infinite intelligence, don't be late. Don't be late. We have to take our own advice. Don't be late to the party here. You show up for infinite intelligence immediately. Empty that mind of everything that you think you know and allow infinite intelligence to fill it up with what it calls salvation in this psalm, which simply means the solving of this problem. Now, why would infinite intelligence bother? Because that's its will for you. Infinite intelligence's will for you is that you be happy, that you be safe, that you be joyous, that you be prosperous, that all good be yours, that you experience your life as a divine royal child, because that's who you are. So the only way for it to do that is for us to stop telling infinite intelligence who we are. Telling infinite intelligence how things are and what it is. Instead, we need to, as it said earlier, remind ourselves that we are poor and needy. And simply that means that we are emptying our minds out, and we need nothing but infinite intelligence. We need nothing but divine will to handle anything and everything for us. But it's not up to us to say how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen or give all the instructions to infinite intelligence. This is not about giving a shopping list to God. This is about us saying, I don't know how to handle this, but the solution is already there. All I need to do is turn my mind on infinite intelligence and not be late to start with that and allow the solution to manifest itself. And it does, it will, and it is. So you just keep coming back to this psalm every single day until you get a sense of peace and certainty that whatever this problem is has been healed. And once you get that sense of peace and certainty, it's like a click. Then you know that your deep mind is letting you know the spell is done. You don't have to worry about this. It's taken care of. Move on. And so you move on to something else. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be. Let's see if we have any questions. Doesn't look like it. Well, thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. We will be back tomorrow with a live stream lecture. And don't forget that we have a premiere in about 15 minutes, just a little over 15 minutes on YouTube. I hope that you join us there. And thank you so much to the amazing moderator team. Today we had Heather, Dre, and Honeypaw. I adore you all very much. Have a happy April Fool's Day. Blessed be.